Welcome to Ben and Gary's.
Here's the scoop.
Today we have a very special guest. We promised you last week that we would have somebody come in and talk to you about what it looks like to get pre-qualified for a home loan. And we have the amazing Charity Mathis from Flat Branch Home Loans, Level Up Lenders.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
So why don't we start out by getting to know you a little better.
Okay.
Tell us your story, whatever you'd like to tell us, how you got to lending, whatever it is.
How I got to lending. I feel like no one plans on being in lending.
Really?
I mean, I feel like most people I talk to, they're like, they have this story of how they got there, but they didn't like start out as a kid like, I want to be a lender when I grow up.
Lender.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a T-Rex when I was a kid. So
Well, you got the arms for it.
I was
These
gonna
are
say,
long.
what's the
Mine are
word?
short.
Yeah. I think you're actually winning that one. So, I actually used to own an insurance agency, and I was looking for other opportunities because of some life changes. And Sam and Skylar reached out to me, and I was like, no, never thought about being in lending, but
Right.
I went ahead and did the interview, and of course I've seen the process from the insurance side, and always like had mad respect for the team, and they were one of our referral sources at the agency. And so I was like, I'll go do the interview. And I actually had an interview with them and the Chamber of Commerce the same day.
Okay.
And kind of had my heart set on taking the job at the Chamber of Commerce just because, as you know, I'm a connector.
I hope you knew this, Sam.
I don't know. He doesn't care.
We're moving along.
Obviously, I didn't. So, but because I'm such a connector,
Right.
it's like sales versus connecting people. But then when I went and did the interview, that's exactly what they wanted me to do, was connect and bring people in. And so I left there and I called my best friend and I was like, this is crazy, but I think it's a great fit.
Right.
And it has been.
Good.
I absolutely love it.
So you found your new home.
Yes, my new home.
Level Up Lenders.
Yes.
Yes. Which
Yes.
she is proudly repping today.
Well, we have new Level Up shirts, and Sam wants me to wear them every day, and I said I don't like uniforms, but I went sort of with the theme.
Don't crush my creativity.
Yes.
That's kind of where we're at with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you said that you'd kind of seen the process from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Tell us what that looked like from
Sure.
the outside looking in.
So we actually sat down with Skylar, and he was kind of sharing how we could implement some of that in the agency. But basically, we have split the role of sales into two parts.
Okay.
Where, as you know, you have to go out. You guys have to go out and get your leads.
Right.
Then you have to work the leads, and sometimes then you get to the end of it, it's like, oh shoot, I gotta go get some more leads. And
Right.
so they created a process to where we have our outside sales team who are always in front of people getting the leads. And then once they take the application, we have the behind the scenes team who works the applications, gets the pre-approvals and the underwriting and all the things.
Okay.
So seeing that side of the process from the insurance side was super cool, but then there's a whole
Whole new world
whole
once you
nother
step into
element,
it.
yes, once you're actually in it and seeing the communication and how it all works and everything.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Sam really does this process very much differently than most lenders. It's more of
Differently,
concierge.
better. I mean, you could use either word.
Right. Yeah. Yes, definitely. So my experience is, I've sent you guys contacts of people who we're trying to get pre-qualified.
Yes.
And then you guys instantly reach out to
Right.
those people, right?
Right. So a lot of times what can happen is if you give your client a phone number, they may or may not call, or they may, Sam says, drive down the road, they find another realtor sign and they call them, and then they accidentally end up with another realtor.
Right.
And so you giving us their phone number kind of gives you the power, because we're not going to let it go. We're going to call them until they answer, or we're going to circle back and say, hey, they didn't answer, if you want to reach out to them. But we make that initial contact, yes. And that kind of puts the ball back into...
Takes some loops out of the circle, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So once you guys do start that process of pre-qualification, kind of go through that for us and tell us what that looks like.
Sure. So we get some basic information, name, phone number, birthday, that kind of thing. The big thing I think that makes a difference is once they give someone their social security number, because like we don't just like go around giving out like candy.
Let me get that tattooed on my arm.
Exactly. And so once we get that information, they're kind of like, okay, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. And so we try to get back with people within the business day and let them know either, hey, it looks good, maybe it's you need some funds for down payment, or you need to pay off, this little credit card, whatever. We'll kind of give them a few steps, but like, hey, you're good to go shopping. Or if it's a scenario where their credit score is just like not gonna work, we also have in-house, the term is slipping my mind, but she helps them with a credit map.
Right.
I don't know her official title, and I should have asked her official title, because I know there's like certain words we can't use. We can't say credit coach. I know that. She's not a credit coach.
Which we're going to cut that out
She's
now,
not
since
a
we know we
credit
can't
coach.
say that.
I just know she's not a credit coach.
But credit advisor. That work?
Let's just not title her.
She creates a credit
Plan.
map. And what it is essentially is a lot of times people will think, oh, if I pay off all my credit cards, then my credit score is going to go up. And that can be the case, but sometimes paying them all off like $100 might make it go up. But right, so we can create a plan specifically for the person, because not all our credits are the same, not all our problems are the same. But we can go in and tailor and then tell you, if you do X, Y, and Z in this amount of months and follow this plan, you'll be able to qualify for a home in X amount of months.
Perfect.
Or a year, 2 years, whatever. However bad it is, or, that's probably not a great term. But
the point is, in any situation, there is a path to being a homeowner.
yes. So so what we say is it's never no, it's always a how. And so if it's not yet, but here's how.
Right.
And then our credit gal stays in touch with them the whole time, like, hey, how you doing? Checks in with them. And then once they're ready, she sends it back to the lender.
Right.
And then in that instance where, if it's been 6 months or a year, and you've sent us a lead, then we're sending it back to you. So you've not lost your client just because they weren't ready in that moment. Where oftentimes you give the client the phone number, and if they don't call us and they call another lender, you risk losing your lead. And so we make sure that doesn't happen.
Perfect. That's good for me. That's good for you, because they're going to make sure that you're getting to the point where your dreams are being achieved.
Right. And once they're pre-approved and looking, we stay in contact with them. We actually just hired a girl. She's our experience manager. And so her job is to stay in touch with your pre-approved and lookings and our past database. So if you have closed a deal with us, we contact them every quarter on the quarter and ask them, hey, do you know anyone looking? Do you know, and eventually they may end up being like, well, actually, we decided to sell a house. Lead comes back to you.
Perfect.
So repeat customers, because we want them to be our repeat customers, and we give it back to you.
Yay, teamwork. Benji, what questions do you have?
I don't have any questions.
None whatsoever.
That means I explained it so well.
It was fantastic.
Or he didn't listen. It's usually he didn't listen.
Combo of both.
I am a fantastic listener.
I feel like that's probably true. Quiet people are usually observant and good listeners.
We'll go with that then. So.
What questions do you have?
I don't know.
I can't give you grief. See, you gotta throw it back at me.
Well, that's because we had a long conversation. I was engaging you.
I was engaged in the conversation.
I know, I'm sorry. I was like her.
You engaged in what conversation, Benji?
The conversation you guys were having.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Maybe for both of you, maybe more for you. Like, what is an obstacle you've run into with lenders in your process, in your transactions?
People with lower credit. I mean, that's the number one thing. And
So then I've solved that problem for you.
yeah.
Get
See,
the lead
problem
back.
solved. Problem solved.
Learn something new every day. Did you know that we did this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did too.
I know you do.
I feel like I should have said more.
Well, then say
Do you want to
something.
start completely over? Do you want to do the whole thing again, and I can talk to you instead of?
Be honest, I didn't listen to what Gary asked.
Like, people are like, why are you so mean to him all the time? I'm not mean to him. I just know him. And, like, if he's sitting over there not saying anything.
Do you think he's mean to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gary bullies me nonstop.
But,
I'm going to show you, bully, here in
but
a
you're
second.
still here, so maybe you have a boundaries issue.
I don't know. I cry a lot. Just in the office.
I cry sometimes too.
Yeah. All the time.
These are not the bloopers we want to share with people, Benji.
No.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't listening. I knew it.
I don't know.
So
I was zoned out.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Why do you like our process? Why are we your preferred lender?
So I'm going to be honest with you. It's less about the process for me
Okay.
than it is about the people in the process. I have known Sam Hickey for a very long time, and I would trust him with anything I had. And so because I know him and I know where his heart is, and I know the type of person he is, I know that the people that he's hiring are also the same type of people.
That's great.
And so I know that when I send somebody over to you guys, they're not going to get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
There have been times where we have gone ahead and found different lenders because credit scores were in such a place that a different lender was able to say, well, we'll do it now.
Absolutely.
We're fine. Let's go.
And there's certain things that people don't always qualify in.
Right.
And that's with any entity.
Right. There have been times where we found that different lender and it turned out to be a nightmare. Like the process that once we're under contract with you guys, the process.
So then you do appreciate our process.
Well, but the process isn't what sells me. The process is just, I'm glad it's there, so it's repeatable.
Yeah.
But I think that people trump a process any day. If you put the wrong people running the best process in the world, it's a failure.
So nobody's ever gonna know.
They're gonna know.
No one's ever gonna know.
They're gonna know. Anyway, so I believe that the wrong people, Benji, scoot in here now. There we go. The wrong people in the perfect process still get the wrong answer.
Sure.
But when you put the right people with the right process, then everything takes care of itself.
Sure.
So that's why to me having the right people is more important than having the right process.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because like we've had non-area lenders,
Non-local
lenders
are terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I don't know
Every
if you're
time.
allowed to say that.
Oh, I'm saying it.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
Because we've had a lender who their process was a person in Nashville takes the application, gets them pre-qualified, gets the loan under contract, and then it's passed to a person in New York for a short period of time who now you're used to communicating with person A and you're now to person B. And by the time you figure out that you're with person B, they're on to person C. And so, like, the process, there's no fluidity to it.
Not enough communication.
Also,
Yes.
they're unresponsive almost every time. Like, cannot get them on the phone.
Well, and that's why you support local.
Bingo. So that's why, yes, the process once we're under contract is phenomenal. You guys do an amazing job. But I think it's the fact that you guys care so much about the people you're taking care of, and you don't see it as a transaction. You see it as Gary and Benji are trying to help somebody's dream come true, and so we're going to partner with them.
And not only that, you're trying to put food on the table for your family, and so it's every person in the process matters.
Right. So that's very true.
Yeah.
So that's why we love Level Up.
I love them too.
Benji, any questions?
Any jokes?
Oh, I got
Dad
plenty
jokes?
of those.
Let's hear a joke.
So,
If it starts with so, it's already a bad joke.
there was a Hispanic magician.
No.
Nope.
No.
Cut.
No.
I don't even.
All my jokes might not be appropriate for this.
I'm going to go with none of your jokes are appropriate for this.
I don't got jokes.
I got dad jokes.
Let's hear a dad joke then.
So, there was this Hispanic magician.
On the joke.
There was a Hispanic magician, and he said he was going to disappear on the count of 3. He went uno, dos, and he disappeared without a trace.
Okay, that was funny.
I've heard that joke from you before.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, that's That's awesome.
It was just as bad the first time, but I still laughed.
I had a cousin, and he worked at the M&M factory, but he got fired because he's eating all the W's.
You told that joke at the M&M factory.
I did.
Okay, but it was funny.
It was funny. So he dared me in the M&M factory to walk around and ask people where the M&Ms were. And I don't think he thought I would do it. So here I am walking up to the employees. Hey, I have been looking all over this place for M&Ms, and I can't find a dang M&M anywhere. Could you help me with M&Ms? So the first person I walked up, she was like, we're literally standing in front of a wall of M&Ms.
You didn't video this?
Oh no, Benji misses these opportunities. I video Benji every chance I get. I'm not even gonna lie. So she standing in front of a wall of M&Ms. She goes, I think you need the third floor. Thank you so much. So I get up to the third floor, and that conversation wasn't fun anymore. So they had this bottle of water that had an M&M label.
This is the best part.
And so I asked the girl. I said, "Is that water M&M flavored?" And she goes, "Absolutely."
She's like, which flavor do you want?
Chocolate water.
So then we went around. This lady downstairs told us that the water here is flavored like M&Ms. Is this true? Yeah, I guess. Then we bought the water and threw a fit because it didn't taste like M&Ms.
I took a sip of it. I just shouted, this tastes like Skittles in the middle.
Choosing Gary and Benji.
Right. We're not very mature, but we have a lot of fun.
As long as you get the deal closed, that's all that matters.
This is true.
It's a lot of ways to get to 4.
Get the what?
4. There's a
Like
lot
the
of
number
ways
4?
to get to 4. You can do 3 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 6 minus 2.
Sometimes we do 10 minus 4
Right.
plus 15 minus
See?
75, and eventually we get back to 4.
See?
Yeah, that
a lot of
doesn't
ways.
equal 4.
But there's a lot of ways to get there. As long as you get it done.
Very true. All right. Do you have any?
Our process is just the best.
This is true. Can't argue with this. All right. Do you have anything extra that you want to add to this beautiful moment that we've had today?
If, by chance, you've worked with one of these out-of-town lenders and had a not-so-great experience, we would love to have you as our client.
95% sure anyone that has had not a great experience.
Out of town, you mean? Yeah, not us.
No, I probably should have.
Yeah, so our client is the realtor for a reason, because the chain starts with you, and everybody knows it. I mean, it's realtor, lender, insurance, and then all the rest. That's the way it goes. I mean, there's title and all that in there too. So.
We're at the top of the totem pole, Benji.
Yep, top the totem pole.
I like the sound
Don't
of
ask me how to spell it. Hey Siri, how do you spell totem pole?
T-O-T-E-M-P-O-L-E.
That's the first time I've ever heard you spell something without asking me how to spell it, Gary.
Quit talking. Yeah, I spelled it wrong. I sent Sam a text and I spelled it wrong, and he's like, I think you meant, and he spelled it, and I was like, I asked Siri and everything.
Yeah, Siri's not very good all the time. All right. Well, this has been our interview with Charity Mathis from Level Up Lenders at Flat Branch Home Loans.
And different levels.
In different levels, yeah. People will know. They're gonna know.
No one's gonna know.
They're gonna know. Do you get that joke?
It's like a commercial, isn't it? I know from something.
It's off social media.
What?
Oh yeah,
They're
it's
gonna
the
know.
meme. It's the meme.
Oh.
It's the meme.
That's what I was doing. You said you didn't get that? You're supposed to be like the social queen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, what the heck?
Well, what the heck?
All right, well, this has been Ben and Gary's.
Here's the scoop.
Have a great day, guys.